I met the one for me in a company I was working for when I was in my mid-20s. She came in the office and, as far as I was concerned, time stood still. And my eyes were fixed on this beautiful lady that passed by the hall. My heart was gripped as well, and I knew at that point she was the one. Unfortunately, she didn't agree. It took quite a few months of courting and, close to a year of being in a steady relationship before she realized I was the one for her. And Nico and I have been married already for 25 years. Finding the one for you is a serious decision. You do not want such important and life-changing decisions, such as making relationship commitments with someone, to be decided by emotions alone. And neither would you want that decision to be driven by the surge of hormones alone, especially if you find yourself having difficulty taking control. And heaven forbid that you make the decision that someone you're in love with is the one for you only because of fear. Perhaps the fear of losing that someone, or the fear of being left out, or the fear of being alone. I believe finding the right one is best determined when you are settled, at peace. You have a sense of general well-being and happiness. Better yet, if you really want to be sure, then make sure he or she is an answer to your deepest prayer to God. There's a story in the Bible where a man and a woman met as an answer to a prayer. Way back in the book of Genesis, there's a story about a father who wanted to find a suitable wife for his son. So this father, Abraham, sent his most trusted servant, Eliezer, to find such a woman. Eliezer went and he asked God for clear signs that would point him to the woman who was to be the perfect wife for Abraham's son, Isaac. Rebekah was that answer to prayer. And this was how the first meeting between Isaac and Rebekah happened. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field toward evening, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, there were camels coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she dismounted from the camel and said to the servant, "Who is that man walking in the field to meet us?" The servant said, "It is my master." So she took her veil and covered herself, and the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Then Isaac brought her to the tent of Sarah, his mother, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. In this passage, we find Isaac out that night to pray to God. Then as he looked up, he saw camels coming. The same camels he perhaps saw leaving with his father's most trusted servant, Eliezer, who was sent on a mission to find a wife for Isaac. He's come back. And in this romantic scene, I can imagine the moment Rebekah lifted up her eyes and saw Isaac, and as Isaac finally laid his eyes on Rebekah, it must have been love at first sight. For Rebekah, Isaac was the one. For Isaac, Rebekah was the one. And Isaac took Rebekah to be his wife. And as the passage says, he loved her. You can find the one for you, the right one for you, if you do not let your passions, your hormones, or your fears drive you. Rather, like Isaac, bring it up to God. And you ask Him for clear signs that will point you to the right one. And if you are willing to wait on Him, then I believe you will find the one for you. Just make sure you prepare and become the right one for the other person as well. Because in seeking and finding the one that you are willing to commit to and spend the rest of your life with as your partner in marriage, do keep in mind, faith matters too.